All right, so a little bit of a background on my girlfriend. She went from, we've been living together for 14 years now. So 14 years ago, she was the person who would smoke a couple of cigarettes a day, maybe three or four, just smoke to smoke whenever she felt like it. Wasn't really addicted, didn't need it, just did it from time to time. So we'd be at like a family get together or something like that with her family playing cards. We'd be together for 6, 7, 8 hours. I would go through a whole pack. Her family, they would each go through a whole pack, and she's maybe had one or two. Flash forward 14 years, and especially over this last year, I've noticed her cigarettes addiction has become even worse than mine. I smoke 16 to 20 cigarettes a day, off and on for the last 24 years, mostly on, as you all know. And she started smoking more than I was. So she was over a pack a day. She would chain smoke in the evenings when she would come home from work. She would have coughing fits. We would play games together, like scary games, like, Forewarned and stuff like that. And a jump scare would happen. And the first thing I hear her saying through the headphones is, "Oh, my arms are numb." That's not a good thing, when your arms go numb because your heart rate spikes. That's dangerous. So, I joke about it, I'm laughing about it, but she was really starting to scare me. Being over, like I said, over a pack of cigarettes a day, starting to have like chest pains and stuff, and we're not old, but we're aging. We're getting older, and the last thing you want is for a cigarette addiction to become worse as you age. Because when you're younger, you're a little more resilient to the things that cigarettes can do to you, but not so much when you get older. So here she is, mid 30s, starting to cough and hack, and smoking more than I am. And I was frightened. Cancer doesn't run in my family, so that doesn't disclude me from any risk that I could get cancer from smoking, but cancer runs in her family. So it was really scaring me, the direction she was going with cigarettes. Anyway, that's where we were at 3 weeks ago. A month ago, her company that she just started working for this year, they changed their policy on breaks. They don't give them anymore. So usually, as for most people, it's you come into work, 2 hours, 15-minute break, lunch, another 2 hours, 15-minute break. The next 2 hours you're going home. So you get, that break basically every 2 hours. And they said no to that. So it's just you come in for work, you have lunch 4 hours later, 4 hours later you go home. Nothing in between. So you're going for somebody who smokes over a pack a day in a situation like that. That's a little bit that's a lot of pressure. So her coworker introduces her to vaping. Her coworker bought her just a disposable vape, one of those ones with 30, 35,000 puffs, supposed to last a couple of weeks or something. I don't know a whole lot about it. And anyway, she comes home one day and she's like, "Hey, look, I'm a vapor now." I was like, "Okay." Secretly I'm like, I know vaping is less risk than smoking, so hopefully this somehow sticks or helps her, like stop smoking. So it turns out here we are now, 3 weeks later since she started vaping. And I took notice to the fact that she wasn't really smoking any cigarettes in the evening. So I would just ask her when she'd come home from work, I'd be like, "How many cigarettes have you had today?" And she'd be like, "Four." She'd smoke on the way to work, she'd smoke at lunch. And then for the evening, she just smokes the vape. Or not smokes it, but vapes. So I'm like, okay, maybe there's something to this. Anyway, here we are now, again, 3 solid weeks later. She is at 0 cigarettes in the last 4 days. Her last cigarette was Friday for lunch. And it's already like 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, so we're on Tuesday. So, I mean, it's been 4 solid days since she's had a cigarette. Her coughing fits have stopped. I haven't heard her complaining about, "Oh, my arms are going numb," when we're playing games. What? I've got to start silencing my phone because I'm pretty sure every single video I've made for like the last year, I've had a phone alert. I'm sorry about that. And yes, I could crop it out, but I forgot where I was at. So we're just going to continue. Anyway, so that is the story of my girlfriend. She did not start vaping with the intent of quitting smoking. She was doing it because she couldn't take cigarette breaks at work anymore. So any chance she'd get, she could just go to the door, take a puff, blow it out the door. And now she just vapes. And smoking might be completely in her past. She might have just unintentionally quit smoking. So I am looking into the same thing. And any of you that have followed this channel know that I made a couple of vaping videos like 5, 6 years ago. And vaping didn't work for me, to make the switch so I could do the usual plan, right? From smoking to vaping to lesser nicotine to eventually, being done with the vape. Because once you get down to zero nicotine, your body's like, I don't want this. What are we doing this for? It's not helping me. So I planned on making that transition. And that did not work for me. And I can tell you why it did not work for me. And I'm going to tell you how I've cut back to a half a pack of cigarettes a day over the last few days with a vape because I changed my strategy and how I'm going about it, changed my mindset. And we're going to talk about that in part 3 of this update.